Welcome back to the Anime Safe Space podcast. We're on episode 40 this week, another big landmark, I guess. Getting close to that 1 year mark for this podcast. 1 year of a shit show, really.
Why haven't we canceled ourselves yet?
I don't know why we haven't canceled ourselves, honestly. But, this shit show is still going. The shit train is still riding on. And also important news.
I'm shitting my pants.
Yeah, important news again. Tail has once again died. So he's not going to be here. We'll resurrect him next week with the Dragon Balls. But that was a cringy joke. I'm sorry.
Yeah, can we start over?
No,
I don't want this in the
No, we're leaving this. We're leaving this.
All right, so
if
you guys remember a long time ago, one of our best episodes so far, Gintama special, right? It did it amazing, right? It did it so amazing during the
performing episode.
It's actually one of the worst, all right? And I'm going to tell you right now, it was our first time doing a duo, and there was a lot of parts where we were just like stuck. Not going to lie.
Yeah, it's not going to happen this time. The last bonus episode we had to put on the Patreon, it was also just me and Jake. Again, this summer, it's kind of going the opposite of how we said it was going to. We said like we're going to have a lot more time. We'll be able to pump out a lot more, but now it turns out conflicting schedules, everything's not lining up for us, so we're putting out episodes when we can. And obviously this week, Tail has been very busy, so me and Jake had to do it when we can. And also, it's pretty late. I think this is the latest we've ever recorded, I think.
I think we had like a 1 a.m. like around the.
We might have. I think I remember us talking about a 1 a.m. recording. Well, regardless, this is still very much later than we record.
I mean, to be fair, it's only like an hour.
Yeah,
it's not that bad.
I mean, who knows? We might go for 3 hours today, Jake. Let's see how much endurance.
Please no. I'm actually like so tired right now.
Oh, I know. Like you've been working your ass off because you're an employed man, like a loser.
Yeah, I'm being employed. Yeah, you're unemployed right now, and I actually got another.
Yes, sir.
I have another job lined up, or I already got accepted, or I accepted the offer, and now I'm going to be working like, or possibly like 12-hour days with only 1 day off.
That's the fucking life.
That's the life. Yeah, I know. And so like a lot of this time, like I'm not going to have time like running the Discord and all that stuff. I'm still going to try and pump up when I can, but like even now, like I'm not on Discord as much, which is supposed to be my thing. So I'm gonna try and like before all that happened, just try to be more active in this Discord, and especially because we're gonna have a watch along with the Ghost Stories dubbed. We're gonna watch that from episode 1. Did a poll. What's the best time for you guys, EST, and we're going to be going around like the 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. EST. So I'll figure out a time between that. Oh. Bless you, dude. Dude, it's one of the sneezes that are not sneezes. Oh, that suck.
Yeah, I muted myself just so you guys didn't hear me sneeze in the mic, but oh man, that was that beat my ass. My voice might be raspy now.
That's actually funny, but no, I would like to say we have a lot to talk about. We actually don't.
I mean, we have questions stuff, but we'll get to that later. But we did bring up last week that we're going to be watching some summer seasonals. Obviously, not all of them have aired yet, but a good deal of them, and we could just go ahead and talk about the ones that we liked so far. And starting off with, because I saw that you watched it, I looked at some of your updates on Analyst. Bokutachi no remake Our Life, I think.
Our Life, yes.
Yeah.
Have you? No, you didn't watch it.
No, I watched it.
Oh, you watched it? How'd you like it? Oh, how'd you like it? Because I kind of like enjoying it because this is one of the few animes that are like not in a high school setting, but rather a college setting, and it's more. It's following like he was at 2 stages in his past life, right? It was either he go do the normal route, what everyone else does, and does whatever. And the second path was he become an art student and do what he is passionate about. And this is pretty much his second chance at life, I would say, because it was pretty much a series of unfortunate events pretty much landed upon him.
Yeah, to me, even though it's not like an isekai or anything, it does give me like ReZero and Mushiko Tensei vibes, in the sense that this is a second opportunity provided to somebody who is both down on their luck, and while obviously we haven't seen much of this guy, I'm assuming a lot of the problems they're going to deal with is him either giving himself too much self-pity or like which because they already addressed in the first episode, like he knows that just because he has experience doesn't mean that he's on the same level or above these other people like he was expecting, and he's already kind of getting put in his place. So I feel like it's going to deal with a lot of like self-worth issues, self-confidence, and obviously, you know, regrets. And I just really like the angle of it. Yeah, he knows what one outcome was, which is him just taking the normal route of going to college, and then obviously his life has been miserable. So even if this art school stuff doesn't work out, I think the idea is at least he tried. At least, you know, you did what you wanted to, and therefore, no matter what outcome he gets, at least this is the better option. So, and it's been interesting.
All right, go. But there was also the thing because his roommate was one of his idols. Right,
I was not expecting that.
I wasn't expecting that either. I like that approach because, like, he gets to see what she's doing to become the person she is, or she was before in before he reset, pretty much. And I kind of like that because you get to see the amount of hard work they're doing, even with their like. We don't know that, but I'm guessing like he's living with the big three, his big three idols. That's what I'm guessing so far because already one of them was there. And we already know the redhead girl is.
She's so fine, man.
She's so fine, but she's fucked. So there's all that.
Yeah, I mean, even though it's not like a bad thing, it is just one of those things where it's like, of course, all of this thing is super coincidental for him. He became an underling to the redhead girl right before he goes back in time. So then he ends up in college in the same class as her, which I'm assuming that person is her mother. The teacher, because they look exactly the same, who he also happens to be a roommate to his number one idol, who it just seems like a lot of coincidences, but like, you know, it kind of has to happen for something like this.
It's anime. It's got to set it up, right?
I know.
This is the setup.
There's just a lot of instances where it's just like, yeah, of course this and this and this happens at the exactly appropriate time right before you set it up.
But then it kind of makes it could make sense. It could make sense in the point that like those were the big three, and the reason why they were so close and they made that game was because in college they were very close in this house.
Yeah,
and maybe it could be so it could be like one of those things, and maybe that down the road there's an episode that like goes in their bibliography when they say this.
An interesting thing, even though I doubt it will happen because it wouldn't really make any sense, but like, what if it turns out that he was one of the big three? Like in his regular life, like he created one of the works he admires.
You're actually stupid. You're actually stupid.
No, because the idea is that they don't know what some of these people look like, or like he's one of the big ones. I mean, it wouldn't make much sense, and it would be very paradoxical. But I do think that would be like something interesting. Like it would make a very good plot point. It turns out he ended up creating the thing he loved. You know, I feel like that would work in another show. Okay. Maybe.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's not that he was the one that is a part of that group, but he in turn created that group.
Oh yeah. That
I think that's
works.
where. I thought that's what you were saying. I was like giving it like he was actually.
Well, I wasn't saying that. Well, I was saying what if he was one of the big three? But obviously that wouldn't make any fucking sense.
That wouldn't make any sense. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
But I kind of like my idea where he inversely created those three.
Yeah. Because I feel like it had to come full circle in some of those ways, because I feel like that would have led to his character journey. But regardless, the girls are hot. That's mostly what matters. We should have just said that at the beginning.
His idol, I forgot her name. Sorry, it's the first episode. I'm not very good. Dude, she is pure.
She's banging.
Not gonna lie. And she got blue hair. She's already top. Like not even
blue hair with the yellow pins. I mean, it's a very safe and classic design, but I love it every single time they do it.
Every time, you literally can't go wrong.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a great show.
Also, it was a 1 hour episode, so or 48 minutes, whatever you want to say. So it was a really good way to introduce, and I didn't feel like there was a lot of downtime. Something was actually always happening.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there wasn't downtime. It was everything was setting up for something, and I did like the good 20-minute setup, because it's not like tragic. Like I wasn't like didn't feel super bad about like everything that was going on. But I mean, maybe they'll reveal more as the show goes on. But I did like the setup of he's super down on his luck. He goes to his parents' house, lands like the dream like deal of his life. So while I was watching it, I was wondering. I was like, so how the hell are they gonna set up him going back in time or justify why he goes back in time? But then of course, the same exact thing happens. The company goes bankrupt. They let everybody go. And it's just like what they're at least showing is that he was just trapped in an endless cycle and probably destroying himself with self-pity. So, and I like that setup. You learn a lot about him in just such a short amount of time, and now he's reset.
He's reset. But I do like I am quite looking forward to all the stuff that they do plan out, especially the other two roommates, because we only have guesses so far to what they do, but we know the guy is very knowledgeable, especially in art. Mm-hmm. And he did have that one-off comment that like I was working all night, and we don't know what he was working on. So there's still that mystery to that little comment.
Yeah. So I think looking forward to more of it.
Looking forward to it. Yeah.
So I mean, next up, the one of my favorites, even though it's so stupid, I know what I'm thinking of. Kanojo no Kanojo, or girlfriend.
This show, all right. This show knows exactly what it's doing, and it's doing it well. The characters are stupid. The characters are dense. Everyone knows it, but they refuse to say no. I don't get it. It's funny though.
It's so weird. Like it's so weird to say this, but it is the one harem that is actually following through with being a harem, in the sense that he's actually dating all of them. Because like technically, the harem label, when it's applied to anime, is actually kind of misused. Because, while they are in love with the MC, most of the time the feelings aren't reciprocated, or, he's not dating them. Something like Nisekoi, while he has feelings for Onodera and Shitoge, all the other girls isn't necessarily, he's not reciprocating those feelings. So while there's 6 girls in love with him, that doesn't necessarily, by definition, make it a harem. But on girlfriend, they all love him. He loves all of them. He's dating all of them. And so in a weird way, it goes against harem conventions.
That we're used to, right?
Yeah, that we're used to.
I don't remember a show, or even heard of a show that kind of did it like this. So, to be fair, this is also the first episode, so
yeah. And
I would like to see what they do.
Yeah, I am interested to see like where it goes from here, because most harems are built on the MC being indecisive, and thus you can move the plot forward by him like maybe developing feelings for one girl at some point and then like realizing he doesn't, or him trying to figure out which girl he is in love with, or him trying to realize his feelings. But in this case, they're all dating already. So what is the conflict gonna be?
So I think with the conflict we're just from impressions that he's gonna add a girlfriend maybe like in 2 episodes, 3 episodes.
Well, he clearly adds 2 extra ones. Yeah, he
adds them to the house. He adds them to the house. So now it's going to be like three. There's 3 people living there now. Now there's going to be 4. Then there's going to be 5. And the conflict's going to arise in the house. That's where I think a lot of this stuff is going to be. Because we already see the first one, the childhood friend. She's kind of a bum.
Hey, I love her. Don't disrespect her.
Hey, she's hot. But she's a bum compared to the other one.
She's stupid. No, yeah. I mean, they're both pure. Don't look. Come on.
No, actually.
They're not pure. Sorry.
They're not pure. Do you remember what the MC said? I'm sorry. I'm not going to remember the names as of right now.
Yeah, I don't remember any of their names, to be fair. They were just super hot girls.
They were super hot. Another blue-haired.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's sold me.
It's the blue-haired right now. All right. She can cook. She studied. She does yoga. Does everything, right? And then you see the childhood friend.
Well, that is the trope. Okay, so it is in a weird way. Like, so it uses a lot of the regular harem tropes. The childhood friend who's, like you said, the useless bum. But the one thing she has up on everybody is,
she's
length of time with the MC, and just being the childhood friend, being around the longest. So I mean, it is gonna have those types of characters. But regardless, I really like the show. And again, this is maybe secluded, but for whatever reason, there's always a big show that gets shat on every season. This is the one that's subject to that. A lot of people are, I don't know why, but they're going into it trying to take it seriously. And if you guys are listening and haven't watched Girlfriend, please don't go in expecting this to be something serious. It knows it's stupid. Believe me, the show knows it is stupid. They even call the MC dumb for this jumping into conclusion because the very logical answer to him having a girlfriend and getting asked out is just to turn her down. And he even mentions that is the logical thing to do. But then he's like, "You're too cute to turn down, so let's go ask my girlfriend if I could date both of you." And then they just basically peer pressure the girlfriend into saying yes. and then he immediately moves them into his house.
Yep.
All while mentioning how batshit insane all of this premise is. And they still do it. So they are very self-aware. Believe me, the show knows it is dumb, and it is fun. It's okay to enjoy dumb things.
That's what I don't get a lot. What a lot of people like. A show doesn't have to be like serious. It doesn't have to like get straight to the point. It could be stupid. There could be comedy. It's a comedy too.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like, I do want to put this out there. I don't think this is a romance or a harem first and foremost. This is a comedy first and foremost. Like somebody put it best, it's not a romantic comedy. It's a comedic romance.
Yeah.
Or comedy romance. So it's
comedy is the first premise where you're gonna think of with the show instead of the harem aspects or the romance aspects.
Yeah, I was gonna say because they speed ran through the romance. Now the real comedy comes from what they do with that romance, but.
I mean, they were talking about threesomes, so
there's actually, right off the bat. Dude, the show was balls to the wall. It's fucking right out the gate. Funny. It's crazy.
It was pretty funny.
It was fun. Opening's a banger, by the way, and the ending.
I like the ending way more. I don't know about the opening. I don't know why.
It's because it doesn't pick up crazy because it has like that slow build up, and then it kind of like builds up a little bit and then slows down again, then builds up. So I mean, I get why people don't like it. Personally, I love it. Ending though. Complete banger.
Yes, I will agree every time to that. Actually, let me pull up my list on my phone.
Of the shows, you mean?
Yeah, I think I've only watched 3.
Well, I think there's, to be fair, I think there's only like 4 or 5 airing right now. Everything else airs this weekend. So, or tomorrow, like Slime.
Oh, Slime! Oh my god, dude.
Which I'm so excited for.
Oh, okay. Remake.
Actually, yeah, those are the 2 things I watched. Actually,
I've only watched one more. I could
have swore I watched another show, but I guess I didn't.
Oh, okay. So I'm watching Pretty Boy Detective. That's what I'm watching actually.
Well, that was from last season.
That was from last season, but I am starting to watch it now. I didn't know this beforehand. I just knew it was Pretty Boy. Like everything was like it's gorgeous, all that stuff. I didn't know it was made by some of the people from Shaft. So you get like
some of the people from Shaft. It's Studio Shaft that made it.
Oh well. Anyways, right.
I think it's very clear with how it looks, and it's Nisio Isin, the guy that made Monogatari.
Yeah. So it's fun. It's a very fun show.
Yeah.
The leader's stupid. The boys are hot. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, boys are hot, dude.
The white haired one. Oof.
Mm-hmm. Dude, the guy with long legs or the track star legs.
The track star. Yeah. So I'm watching that. I'm probably gonna finish it probably in the next like 2 weeks. I'm gonna take that show slow because it's a Monogatari.
Got past the first episode, man.
Bro, the second episode kind of neat. You get to see. I don't know what they're gonna do after. I think they're probably just gonna do stories. But the next, I only watched one more show. It's called The Case Study of Anita. It's set in like 1800 style with futuristic stuff with vampires. I mean, a lot of people that I think it was like Pandora Hearts. I think the same author made that. And this is looking like a good adaptation. The ending is an absolute banger, right? I told you should listen to it, and you freaking just fell asleep.
So, I don't remember that at all, but
no, you said zzz, yeah, like you sleep, yeah. Yeah, I know you didn't listen to it. No, it's an absolute
I'm gonna watch
banger.
the show. I'm gonna watch the show.
Maybe
yeah.
you maybe I don't know if you'll like it, because if you like this, you probably would have watched Moriarty the Patriot.
Oh yeah, then probably not.
No, but this show kind of like it's kind of fun, where the point is like it goes into like the chibi styles every once in a while, with just to like show lighthearted stuff. But I think there's gonna be a lot of dark themes in here because I
was gonna say that's done by Bones, right?
Let me check. I think you can check, but yeah, it's just this guy was looking for the Book of Anita, and some random guy has it, and so now he's just gonna be following each other. They're gonna be pals.
I can't take that show seriously because I just think of Kingdom Hearts when I hear Vanitas. So I'm just gonna expect him to start talking about darkness.
Oh my god! And what was the stupid quote? I forget that stupid quote from Vanitas in KH3.
I don't know, man. There's so many stupid quotes from Kingdom Hearts in general.
How do you can't get away from the darkness without using the dark, something like that.
Oh yes, he mentioned the darkness by being made from darkness or something. Yeah, I remember. That's not important though. You guys probably look it up yourself.
Yeah, go look it up, dude. Just look at anytime Anita says darkness, you're looking at like a 10-hour walkthrough.
Anytime darkness in general is said in Kingdom Hearts, there is definitely going to take over an hour.
But to be fair, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 1 right now. There's not a lot of mention.
Well, because darkness wasn't really brought up until like 2, right? Because that's when
it wasn't 2.
That's when the nobodies and Organization 13 and all of that were actually relevant.
Kingdom Hearts 2 was when all the nobodies and all that stuff was happening, but I still think like darkness.
Technically,
darkness
they showed up in Chain of Memories. Bit of lore for you there.
But did that come out after? I don't know.
No, Chain of Memories is right after Kingdom Hearts 1 on the Game Boy Advance.
When they dropped.
Yeah, it came out before Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh, well, not a lot of people played it because who would have a PlayStation and then have a Game Boy Advance?
It was underrated. I loved it.
Oh, I know it's a good game, but it's just like you have to buy so many systems just to enjoy the whole series.
Oh yeah, I know. That's the one bad part about Kingdom Hearts. You gotta have a PS2, PS4, and any new console, I guess. Now they streamlined it, but back then, if you wanted to have the experience before they released the final mixes, I don't know why we're on a Kingdom Hearts tangent, but you had to have a PS2, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, and 3DS.
3DS, yeah, because their Dream dropped.
So
and then also you have to have the phone game and the phone game.
Yeah. So that's 45 different things. Jesus.
Yeah, that's stupid. It's really
6
stupid.
different things. Yeah.
6.
They made it very hard to follow the story.
Which some people do. Like I try to follow. I think after Dream Drop Distance, it was just like everything got so bad. I literally have to watch like an hour or two video just to try and understand after Dream Drop. Because there's like time travel, then this guy Xehanort goes in the past, then he goes to the future, then he goes back to the past in order to meet someone, something like that. And they meet up at like a KFC somewhere. I don't know. Like it really happens like that. So
that's fucking that's basically
crazy.
What happens.
It wasn't as convoluted as it was before Dream Drop. I think Dream Drop just introduced time travel, and that just went haywire.
Yeah.
But I do like what is going with after KH3. I haven't seen like any of them, the Melody, the new one, Melody of Memories, Melody of Storms, whatever. I don't know what happens at the end, but I do want to know like what is Verum Rex edition and Shibuya being a part of it, and if not the world that never was. What was that? What was that game?
The World Ends With You.
World Ends With You. I wonder because it's probably going to have a huge impact in the next game.
Hey, well, the second game of the series comes out in like 3 weeks, so we'll find out then if Sora makes a cameo or something,
or if Discount Noctis comes in. All right, we're gonna get off this Kingdom Hearts tangent because we've been talking about it for like way too long.
Yeah, we didn't even like wrap up our seasonal talk, but yeah, that was all the seasonals we saw. It was only 2 or 3 so far. Like, I think the only one we're missing that is probably of note so far is The Detective Is Already Dead. I really want to watch it because Siesta, white-haired girl.
Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I did watch it.
You did watch it? Okay, well, talk about how good it is because I'm interested.
Oh my god. Okay, so it starts off right. The girl is freaking hot. I'm gonna tell you that right now. White hair, nutty. All right, she's a detective. She looks like a yeah. So it just goes on. This guy has it's like kind of like a lot of misfortune, not like Remake Our Life where it's just like a series of unfortunate events. This guy, unfortunate events always go to him, that kind of thing. He's always caught in the wrong place at the wrong time in him. And this detective just starts to she knows what's up. She says a case is already solved, or a case is already handled before it even starts. And I was like, goddamn Sherlock Holmes over here, dude. But animation, I'm not gonna get too far into like the plot because, she's going after like a secret organization right now. I think something like that. But animation was great. Characters are very likable because you get to see like kind of the dynamic of a girl or the detective just trying to have a sidekick or wanting a sidekick now, and a guy that's just like persistent. You don't want me, or he finds out that she wants him because of what his little trait is. That kind of thing.
It's interesting. It's the same studio that did Uzaki-chan.
Oh.
And apparently they've only done Uzaki-chan, Data Life 3, and Kimono Michi, which that was definitely a show that I watched.
Yeah.
I am adding to my dropped list now because I only got past 2 episodes, I think. Yeah. But anyways, I think the animation should be fine with it, based on those 2 things I've seen. So.
Yeah, especially when they're in the plane. Yeah. It was really good. But it looks like right now it's just going to be like a case-to-case basis with like the little the secret underground company boss, I don't know what it is, a group is just going to be like in the background. I don't really want to, because it's like kind of like the monster of the week type of format, and I don't like that. That's why I don't like JoJo Part 3 that much. Even though the characters are cool, it has very good moments. Like the monster of the week, though, it just drains you.
Well, I mean, if it's a detective show, I would assume it's going to follow that format, so I'm not too bothered, I guess. Siesta's too hot to let it bother me.
Yeah, Siesta is very hot, but I just don't want it to, like, that's all it is, right?
Yeah,
I want the story
background
to
plot.
go above or maybe around, like, the halfway mark, and the group has, like, a much more presence, and it's not just a case-to-case basis. It's just one big case at the end.
So, sorry for the listeners if there's a weird cut. My internet has been very shit, so... yeah, disconnected, but we're back. Anyways, we're jumping into a new segment anyways, so it should be fine. We're going to be answering the listener questioners like we usually do. Totally not milking you guys.
Yeah, we definitely don't have ideas right now.
But there's actually a lot of interesting ones this week. I actually really like the ones we got. And we can start it off since it was seasonal discussion. This is sort of relevant. We did answer it last week, but this comes from @ClaireSoon. Thank you, Claire. She asked, if you have watched any of the seasonals so far throughout winter and spring, also summer, so what's going on now, favorite and least favorite out of the bunch. So I just want to streamline that question and just say, what is our favorite anime of the year so far and least favorite?
Okay.
And remember, a lot aired this year.
I know. Obviously, to me, as of right now, Fruit Basket's the final is top cake. It's in my top 10 now. I think there's no show that did what it did, and that few amount of episodes that made me tear up like a little girl, especially towards the end. Like it was literally like episode 8 or 9 to like 13 to the end. I was just dead. I had the K-On! Type of vibe, so I have to remove a lot of my my list. So do you want to go? Because I got to think about...
So I have least favorite, which is obviously X-Arm. It was very fun to shit on, but it was not a good show. It was not good. Just I hate using objectively, but objectively not a good show.
Yeah, it's... I don't want to say X-Arm because we haven't even finished it, even though we know it's really bad.
I got 4 episodes in, so
you do have 4 episodes
more than enough. That's a third of the show. That's more than enough.
All right, to be fair, it has a very cool premise.
I want to give the manga a chance at some point, but the anime is there's no saving that.
No saving it. Is the best thing you've ever seen. It's revolutionary.
No, yeah, just like you like to say, it's revolutionary, just backwards, the opposite of it.
Yeah, it's really bad. I could say X-Arm, but I don't really want to say it. I kind of want to say a show that I actually watched throughout. What was it? The Promised Neverland was this year?
Yeah, it was actually. It was.
I think I'll actually. I think actually that's going to be my worst. Even though I haven't finished it, I do plan on finishing it.
I want to say that, but I haven't even got to the parts where it gets bad.
I've gotten to the parts where it got bad.
You've gotten to those parts, so you definitely can say that. But I stopped. They haven't even left the Sanctuary yet, so I can't really even shit on the show.
Well, to be fair, the Sanctuary is literally not even an episode.
Why? No. I just haven't gotten out of that part. Which, I mean, I wasn't a fan of it anyways. I did think it was bad, but it wasn't X-Arm levels bad. So.
Well, everything was fine in like the first 3 episodes, and then all of a sudden it just went to shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got to episode 4, so.
I'm on episode 8. I'm on episode 8. Or episode 7, one of those 2.
Yeah, it's hard trying to think of a favorite because I actually was looking. I haven't given anything a 10 at all this year.
But you know what? I'm gonna do this. So there's our favorite anime for like this year, but I'm gonna go favorite original, like a show that just came out. That's gonna be Vivi. I think Vivi just takes the cake like easily out of all these. And like To Your Eternity is good. Like it's really good. Don't worry. Like I still have to watch this week's episode because it just came out today. But I don't think it could top Vivi. The amount of storytelling, character development from AIs, and just the questions that AIs have to answer, or human questions that AIs try to answer, I think it was really well done.
I think for me, the best of the year so far, which might really shock some people. I'm gonna leave you to camp out. Obviously, of course, I'd give that. That is the 10 of this year. But as I've mentioned before, it could have been a clip art of them dragging the characters across the screen and then just shouting slurs at the screen for 20 minutes, and I would have given the season a 10. I am completely biased towards you to camp, and I would admit that. So obviously, everybody knows I would have said that. So I'll just leave that out. For me, though, I think my favorites of the year, honestly, Nagatoro is what I've rated the highest out of everything I've seen this year. It would be that or Mushoku Tensei, because I am really digging the premise of it.
Just wait till you watch Vivi, bro.
I mean, Vivi might overtake it, and I know this might shock people since I think a lot of people do know I love ReZero a lot. I really wasn't huge on the second core. Like, it's still a 9, but
it died again. This is actually really funny. So he's probably talking over me.
No, well, our internet died again. There's going to be a very
funny.
awkward cut, guys. I'm so sorry. This episode is a shit show. Fucking Christ. So that's going to be another awkward cut. It is annoying. My internet keeps dying. Expect another awkward cut later on because I'm sure this internet is going to die. It sucks too. I feel like we have really good momentum going right now, and then it just keeps fucking dying.
It knows. It just knows. It doesn't want us to succeed.
Anyways, I was rambling about Mushoku Tensei. I think I got all my thoughts out before the internet died. I did hear you talking over me saying my internet was dead. So.
That's pretty funny. I guess you could just mute me then.
I'll probably just do that. We'll figure it out, guys. Don't worry. We'll
no,
do the
please.
best for you.
I put my stream in. If he cuts it out, right? I was just talking about anything. I was just talking about like how your voice is just like, it's akin to like a radio show host. That's what I think of anytime I hear your voice. And like when you do record, it's you have a higher pitch voice, and you know.
Yeah,
that.
I raised the pitch. Yeah, I know. I use my customer service voice. I guess the best way to put it.
And I do not. I literally just talk the same.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even do it on purpose. It's just like subconsciously what happens. And people know too. I mean, the Kikazu fans out there that watch my YouTube, I use my normal speaking voice for that one, so you guys know how I usually sound.
Oh no, he puts it deeper in those videos too. Maybe you should. Actually, quick thought. Maybe just turn off your video. Maybe that's like, or is it just your whole internet just dying?
Yeah. Actually, I don't know. I'm streaming my video to you, but
yeah, I don't want to see your ugly ass.
Anyways, though,
speaking of ugly ass, I'm gonna talk about how I almost got in a crash today.
I mean, we're in middle of questions, but you can go ahead, I guess.
It just doesn't matter. All right, so I'm literally driving down the street, right, and I'm just like, minding my business. I'm going like 5 over the speed limit. I'm not gonna tell you what the speed limit is because who cares about that, right? There's this truck that's trying to go into the opposite lane, so I'm going straight. Just like I'm going straight, and this truck is coming from my right side, going into the left lane, going all the way down. I'm going 50. Now you guys know the speed limit. I'm going 50, and this guy's, no joke, is going about 5 miles an hour, and he went in late. Like, I was probably, a good estimate was like 120 feet, 100 feet from him, and then he went. He had all the time in the world to go, and it's just like, why? I literally almost like destroyed that guy. I could have killed him.
You almost isekai'd him, dude.
I could have isekai'd him, yeah. I was gonna say, like, I have like your luck right now.
Yeah, my luck has been pretty shitty for all you Kazu fans out there that know. But yeah, thanks for the little story time.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm alive. Not really.
But let's
Yeah, I was about to say.
jump over to these next questions. Thank you for the question, though, Claire. It was a good one. We will jump on to the next one. We've answered this a long time ago, but we can give if we have an updated answer. This comes from @unapathetic. Thank you, @unapathetic. They ask, what is the best anime studio?
Oh, I think we didn't do best. We did favorites.
Well, I mean, would they not go hand in hand in this instance, or do you? Well, I don't know.
Well, to be fair, like favorites and best are two different things, or in my mind, right?
Well, how do you want to? Are we gonna gauge this? Like best animation style, or like best based on their works?
Because if you say that, like if you go best on their works, I think Ufotable will be up there. But then you can look at Bones and say they have much more quality shows over a span of like a long period of time. Mappa, I mean, they could be disgusting right now because they're putting out so many shows, and goddamn, those animators are probably not seeing the light of day for like 20 years. Or we can go like David Productions, where like as you saw with Fire Force, a lot of Shaft employees came over because of the scheduling that they have. It's like it's kind of hard to gauge that. I think favorite would probably be best to do, because I think best we would just be going off of their works, and I don't think that's kind of right. Because like you would say probably Mappa, Wit Studio, Shaft.
I mean, in terms of best and favorite, I would still put Shaft up there, and that is because I really like their avant-garde style. That's the style they animate in, and for almost everything, which is they leave everything up for metaphor and interpretation and leave a lot of empty space. And I think it is very aesthetically pleasing, and it works well with fucking Monogatari, Pretty Boy Detective Club, Nisekoi. It's to the detriment of Mekakusti actors, but I do love the visual style to it. So they're very good with almost everything they touch. But if I were to go, just based on, if I were to say, I guess multiple Shaft, everything Madhouse has done that I have seen, I think has looked flawless. So
to be fair, they've been having a bad track record for the past couple years.
Well, like the last 10 years. I mean, this is the reason. Fun fact: the reason Mappa is created is because of Madhouse, and one of the leads that they were on a decline and did not like the direction they were going, and they wanted to pump out more anime original stuff. I know that's funny to say now, considering Mappa is only doing sequels and manga, popular manga series, but Mappa's intention was to make original shows. But Madhouse, apart from like No Game No Life and One Punch Man, they haven't really pumped out anything crazy in the last 10 years. Well, and Parasite and Sorayori. So they have their bangers here and there, but mostly stinkers or things they're just not animating.
Yeah, so like we'll go like pre 2012, 2013 Madhouse. That would be a good studio. That would be a good benchmark
out there.
For me, I mean, Gintama's my favorite show. Sunrise, especially like Samurai Champloo. I like their aesthetic. But Sunrise, they did do Samurai Champloo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. The aesthetic they have, the music direction they have with Gintama, like Sunrise to me is pretty much hand in hand with Gintama. And the way they did the show, it's like it's how you make a manga go above and beyond and like have its own source material from the source material. And that's what I really like. Because there is there's not a lot, but there is some anime original stuff that's just not in the manga.
Oh, sorry, forgive me. Samurai Champloo was not Sunrise, but it was Cowboy Bebop.
It was Cowboy Bebop, okay. I got those confused.
Same thing.
Yeah,
same vibe for both.
Same vibe, yeah. So I'll put Sunrise. Sadly, I would put Mappa, because they do have a lot of works right now. Even though I don't kind of agree with their business, with their working conditions right now. Mm-hmm. They have put out quality content. I don't think they should be putting out this much right now, but apparently they want to.
Putting a lot on their plate, but I mean their quality speaks for itself. Most of the time, it is looked good. So If we're just put those aside,
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I mean, I have had these discussions with other people. It is an industry-wide problem, so I don't think blaming just MAPPA is, the real thing here. It's just, they're the face of that.
They're the face of the problem. Yeah, this has been a
Bones is
problem.
doing the exact same thing. Madhouse is doing the exact same thing. Almost every single studio.
I think since MAPPA has been on the radar, especially with Attack on Titan the final season, that's why that's been getting so much more hate than in the past couple of years, because they're putting all these banger shows are made by MAPPA. So like in turn, that's how they're working their animators so much more to put out this quality. And so in turn, MAPPA is becoming the scapegoat rather, even though most people should know that this happens everywhere. And it's ingrained in Japanese culture that, if you're not working enough or hard enough, you're not going to get the respect you deserve. That kind of thing.
It's a societal problem with Japan, for sure. Again, like, so that's a different conversation, but I think most of the time I don't know why it's happening, especially this year, but most of the time people got to understand that this is a cultural problem, not just an industry problem. Yes, industries and corporations are overworking their employees, but you also got to understand that most of the employees think this is okay, and that's kind of something that's hard to change. So respect the animators, yes, but it's going to be impossible, I think, at this point to remove that culture, since, as Jake said, work culture is something very massive in Japan, and it's seen as a sign of respect. So it sucks. Things could hopefully change, but I don't think it'll change for a bit.
And I think a lot of people go ahead. I was just gonna say
they're dying for our sins to make good shows.
Yeah,
they're the martyrs.
I think even just like a quick off topic issue, that kind of thing. A lot of people did think that, like, since Netflix was starting to like dabble its hand into the industry, that they were gonna start like more pay for everyone. So apparently they've been like paying at the minimum amount for like frames.
Yeah, they underpaid for Yasuke. Well, and they also, of course, gave under budget to Record of Ragnarok. Right? Netflix has been very bad when it comes to this, and it sucks because they're one of the most wealthy industries or corporations right now. So, yeah, I would like to see more money go to not only to make the shows high quality, but to increase the people that are making these things, raise their quality of life. But not much we can do about that, sadly.
We can only raise awareness. That's really all we can do.
Yep, we'll be the change. We'll make the drill to pierce the heavens.
Gurren Lagann.
That's a Gurren Lagann reference for you kiddos out there.
Dynamax.
Gynax.
Huh? I was about to say Dynamax, bro. I'm talking about Pokemon.
Just to jump out of the question, just to add to it, even though a lot of Trigger works are misses, I really do like that they almost always go with original plots and their style. Like you know Trigger when you see their style. There's this Star Wars anime that's coming out soon that has like a multitude of different like studios working on it that are working on their own individual episodes. Trigger is in charge of one of them, and it's very clear. Like
it's Trigger, yeah.
Yeah, if you were to put a bunch of different studios like with their art styles up next to each other, the very first one I would probably point out is Trigger. That was the one I'd recognize the first, and for that I think it's super cool. Like, and they have a bunch of different styles in all their shows too, but I would be able to tell immediately that it's Trigger. Like, you show me Kill la Kill and Promare next to each other, they don't look the same, but you could definitely tell they are both Trigger.
They have that distinct style. It's like the signature mark on the artist. That kind of thing.
So I would definitely throw them in there, even if I'm not a huge fan of all their
And
their
my
works,
video just
I
cut
would
out.
like it. And Jake's camera just died. Everything is hitting the fucking fan tonight.
Everything is hitting the fan. Yeah, so I think it was like 50 minutes, so I'll have to like clear up some space.
It's not like I've uploaded the YouTube.
I know.
Ages anyway. I'll get to it. But here's another question. This comes from @WolfZ11. Thank you, WolfZ. And they ask, what is your favorite anime music producer? And I mean, I don't know how many you pay attention to or know, but there is one obvious one that we're both probably going to say here, which is Kevin Penkin.
Yeah.
Kevin
He's
Penkin
done
Made in Abyss.
Yeah, Made in Abyss, the Rising of the Shield Hero. A lot of people don't talk about the Rising of the Shield Hero because mostly because like it's supposed to have it already has a season 2 and season 3, and there's
Yeah.
still no season 2 right now. But I mean, the Rising of the Shield Hero, like the music was really good. Like it was, it's still good work from him.
Hmm.
But
And
and
he did Tower of God too.
Tower of God, yeah. But Made in Abyss, like that's how you elevate a series just by using music alone. The music tells its own story with the images. It's like
Yeah,
you get more out of it with those still images than if you didn't have the music.
Well,
And I think that's really
we've mentioned. Yeah, we mentioned before that like we think it's the best soundtrack like ever. I still stand by that. It is quite easily the best anime soundtrack out there, especially the movie.
Mhm.
I'm not one to get like super emotional. I love music and I love listening to music all the time, but I really haven't had anything drive me to tears just based on it alone. And Made in Abyss has multiple songs that's done that. Like literally just listening to God, Hanazeve no
Pushka's Tears.
I remember the name. It's the one from the movie. But the one of the Hanazeves, I was listening to it and I like literally felt tears at the end of it. Same with Tomorrow. Same with a lot of the songs on the tracks. It's just they hit you emotionally, and they give you goosebumps. Like, and it's just an experience listening to those songs.
The
Like, I
Pushka
love
sequence
listening to
all
those.
over.
Prusko sequence. Oh my lord, that song is everything tugs at the heartstrings. And I'm not one that like listens to OSTs themselves. There are specific shows that do that too, but like for the most part, I won't like go back and listen to a show's OSTs. Made in Abyss is one of the exceptions.
Compared to you, like I think I listen to classical. I do listen to classical like here and then. I Japanese music, 80s, 90s, that kind of thing. So I dabble.
What you mean,
with a
like
lot.
composed, I guess, pieces rather than regular songs, which
Yeah.
is what Kevin Pickin does is composed.
But it does give me like vibes of like powerful pieces that have been around for a long time, and it kind of feels like nostalgic in a way. Those maybe because it was the movie, that kind of thing, and there hasn't been like Made in Abyss in so long. That's what it felt to me. It kind of felt like a nostalgic, like a callback when listening to it. I don't know if you can call them that. It's just like my little two cents.
Well,
on
it's
it.
because it's orchestral and it's not necessarily seen too heavily on here. I mean, the way he composes, I'm almost certain he would pull from like people like Beethoven more than he would somebody from the 90s.
The way you said Beethoven.
Beethoven, I don't know how you pronounce his name,
It's
but he would
Beethoven.
pull from like Mozart, and you'd pull from them before he would look back and somebody like from the 90s or 80s from a rock band, which I don't know what his musical influences are. I'm just saying it's clear that he's taken from 200 years ago than he did from 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. It just shows his expansive knowledge of music.
Yeah, but just so we don't continue this Kevin Pickin circle jerk, I'll add in another one, which they shouldn't shock anybody, but Akiyumi Tateyama, the composer of Yudu Camp's soundtracks and Heia Camp as well. I love it. Every single song in that soundtrack. It is one of my favorites of all time, behind Made in Abyss. As much as I love Yudu Camp, Made in Abyss and Kevin Pickin, whew, it's hard to beat. But Yudu Camp and Heia Camp, they are just as good. I think it encapsulates the entire feel of the series perfectly. Has a lot of the folk feel in it. It honestly actually makes me kind of want to play ukulele every time I listen to it. But I love just how cozy it feels, and also it gives this sense of adventure, especially with some Heia Camp songs, and that is because that series is meant for adventure. And it's just fun, cozy. It adds corny dramaticness. Like it makes sure that when it has like these serious moments in its songs, that it's corny on purpose. Like it'll mash the piano keys, or it'll add the ukulele and start making it play fast. It's so like it doesn't take itself too seriously at parts, and I really enjoy that about it. So yeah, it's everything. It's as important to Yudu Camp as the animation and everything else is, because that show is entirely built on its sound and atmosphere, and it builds that atmosphere perfectly. So thank you, Tateyama. I love you.
What's up?
Oh, I was talking about Unicamp. I know you plugged your ears the whole time.
Oh, sorry, I had my headphones muted. So, I am on episode 9 of your camp, that kind of thing. But just to add, I don't know the director, but whoever directed the Gintama soundtrack, I love you. You are the best.
I had a feeling you were going to bring up Gintama when I saw this question, and I will say I like the Gintama soundtrack, but my problem with the Gintama soundtrack, which everybody should probably agree with, they use the same fucking songs. There's about 20 songs, I think, on the original soundtrack. Oh, and there's 200 episodes, mind you, on the first season. They reuse the shit out of them. Mind you, it's funny. Sometimes it's a part of the joke, but they use the same exact soundtracks a lot. Even like Madao, they use Madao's songs for non-Madao related things. So.
But to fear that theme is a banger.
It is a banger. So it is a good soundtrack, but I don't know if I put it in my favorites. And I want to say people like The Pillows, but they're not composers, so I don't think that counts. And yeah, I think that's it really. Kevin Bacon and Akiyumi Tateyama. They're probably the top two for me. And Kevin Bacon, unanimous. Even if Tell was here, he would probably agree. We all love Made in Abyss soundtrack. Primarily what I'm most excited about for season 2 is the soundtrack, if I'm being completely honest.
It's kind of weird because, well, you know what's going to happen. I know, I think I'm a volume ahead, I think. Something like that after the show. I also said I was going to read it, and I just I have volume 6 and 7.
No, you definitely should read it. It's going to be great. And mind you, I'm not trying to downplay what the content of the season is. It's just the music is that fucking good.
Yeah, it's dare say better than the actual anime. To be fair, the Made in Abyss is still disgustingly great.
Oh, it's great. Well,
can't wait for season 2.
This next question might tear a rift between us. Everyone's favorite waifu of the year so far, and this comes from @YourBitchesSenpai. Thank you, Senpai.
This year?
Yep, waifu of the year. So, I don't know if it's the definitive one from this year, but I'm gonna say Roxy from Mushoku Tensei, dude. I love her designs so much.
I gotta see what came out this. All right, keep them entertained. I'm gonna look up seasonals.
Oh, I'm looking at the rest for this season too. I would definitely say Roxy, Nagatoro. Obviously, I love Nagatoro to death.
Holy dude, it just hit me. It's 2020. It's literally almost done with 2021.
More than halfway through 2021. It's fucking crazy.
Wow.
It
just hit me.
I would say Roxy, Nadeshiko. Obviously, I love her to death. And I don't know why I'm forgetting her name. Oh, I from Wonder Egg. I loved her too, but I wouldn't put her at the top. Yeah, I based on everything I've seen, I would definitely say Roxy. Yeah.
So let's see. There's Nagatoro, Sayu. What else was there?
But the season does look promising on the waifu front. I'm sure someone from Kanojo no Kanojo will replace that. So.
Yeah. I don't see anything else. I mean, yeah. The Way of the House Husband. What the hell? I mean, Vivi got some bangers. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
Quintessentials aired this year, Jay. You got a pretty fucking easy answer.
It's not the easy answer, all right? Everyone knows Miku's number 1, but you got to know what's number 2, right? I mean, this is
fair, I guess.
There's no comment.
Yeah, I mean, Roxy be my number 2 behind Nadeshiko, obviously. So.
Let's see, Horimiya.
Oh, I forgot about Horimiya. She was adorable, but I didn't finish it. So.
But you missed the best part. She's actually into
Oh, I know, dude. I know she's a freak, dude.
But she is.
Trust me, I saw that scene. Don't worry.
What else? Wonder Egg. I can tell me the final. Oh, you son of a bitch! I was getting reminded how it came out almost a year ago.
I'm assuming you don't have an answer.
I'm gonna just knock this out. Oh, you know what? Screw it, dude. I'm gonna go with the. Son of a bitch. I forgot her name. The second one's gonna be the girl from H6. Oh my god, I can't remember her name.
Lena, right?
Lena, yeah, Lena. Or no,
That's
no,
a
no,
fair
no, not
one.
Lena. Her name is Vladina, Vlalina, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
I
with
mean, people just call her Lena, so.
yeah, that's what they call her, but she's actually a major, so you're actually wrong.
Okay, well, anyways, yes. I mean, those are our answers. Reason I wanted to rush through it because you had brought up, or I had brought up, I guess, Quince for you, and I brought up Uticamp. But this ties into this question. This comes from @needsmoresquiz. Thank you, Squiz. They ask, if you had to rebrand your whole account for a series you literally never talk about, or I was going to bring up their examples because I talk about like Hoseki no Kuni and Gleipnir a lot. You talk about quintessentials. So what would it be? Like something we'd never talk about but would want to.
Or among us.
No. Oh, speaking of which, we hadn't plugged it this week. I don't know if we plugged it last week, which I'm very depressed if we didn't. We didn't. We keep messing up on our plugs. Anyways,
guys,
for me,
hold
I
on.
mean, I talk. Well, go ahead.
Hold on. If we get enough money for the Ko-Fi, it's not going to be a twerk video. It's actually going to be a sound bar. So we could just instead of us having to plug in Arrow manga, we're going to have a robot do it. It's foolproof, right? We won't forget it, and it'll be easy.
Yeah, we'll just clip fucking Sagiri and even Kage voices and have it on here. But for me, I mean, this is probably more geared towards me anyways. Hoseki no Kuni and Gleipnir and Uticamp, I talk about those three a lot, and obviously I branded myself as Mifune from Gleipnir before the whole Nadeshiko thing, so if I were to talk about a series primarily, I mean, it might sound weird, but I mean, My Hero, I think, I only talk about My Hero when I read it, but it's one of my favorite series. I think I would rebrand to Pop Step, I think, honestly. So I think it would be that. So maybe like a Vigilantes thing.
I
know that's a weird answer.
Oh, my bad. I don't even have like a brand for my thing. I mean, I just have Miko as my picture, but I don't really like talk about anything.
But I'd say your brand, honestly, to me at least, I don't know if it's the same for everybody else, but is Gentoki and Miku. So
yeah, no, it would be the two most common characters that I have. So I would have to go for something else. I don't know what I would pick actually. Mob? No, I'll probably go One Punch Man. When I actually read it, because I know it's a banging series. It's just that I'm not in my manga phase right now. I think I'm Rent a Girlfriend. I'm like on episode like chapter 60. Like yeah, I'm going so slow.
You're on the slog, yeah. I mean, you got to get to 100 so you can see the banger.
I know, but it's just like, I don't want to read it.
No, I don't blame you.
So yeah, I would probably go with the One Punch Man because I do love one's art, and that really like says a lot.
Well, I mean, to be completely fair, he's not the one that does the the manga art that we're gonna be reading. It's God, I'm forgetting his name. Matsumura? I don't know.
Murata?
Yeah, there you go. Murata. I have his fucking manga on my shelf. I could have just looked at it, but I'm not going to. Sorry, my boy, but you're a legend.
Yes.
Yeah. But I was gonna say you had brought up the soundboard, and this ties into another question, also from Squiz though. He asks, you guys always advertise your Patreon, so tell us, the viewers, where does this money go to? And he put in parentheses, if you don't answer, then you're a pussy. Well, Jake answered. We want to get a soundboard, and yeah, go ahead.
So right now, like all of the Patreon money is going directly to our RSS goddamn Dropbox.
Yeah, just so I'm eating a muffin. RSS, just in case you guys didn't know, is our hosting service. It's just to not bore you guys to death. It's how we distribute the podcast. That costs money, so we're using some of the Patreon money to pay for that, as well as our Dropbox, which is how we upload, so we can have clean audio. The first 10 or 12 episodes, we used a bot that recorded our audio, but obviously it would not have worked, especially with me disconnecting 3 times this episode. So we use our Audacity and we just upload our clips to a Dropbox. Both of those cost money. So right now, the Patreon money covers those costs, helps us run the episode, and helps you guys, and you guys get bonus content in return. Hopefully in the future, when more people, come to it, we'll be able to buy soundboards, cameras, things like that.
Well, I think, like, as of right now, I think my camera is, like, all right. Well, you guys won't be able to see it, but...
Not cameras, but we'll make upgrades,
Yeah.
Green screens, possibly.
Green
screens. If our YouTube pops off.
Well, I think if by that time we would start streaming.
Mm-hmm. Just a lot of things. The short answer is it's going towards the podcast. That's where the Patreon money's going. Yeah, I'm not really pocketing, and it's going technically to me, but I'm not pocketing any of it. It's going back to the podcast. So
yeah, like the Ko-Fi is probably like the best way for us to like just directly get a soundbar.
Yeah,
or soundboard.
Yeah, and it would the Ko-Fi get us the money direct quickly. Like we have really nothing to offer in the Ko-Fi, sorry, but it does help us get the money quicker, so we can get the soundboard quicker, and we'll still figure out things to do on the Ko-Fi. If we become a bigger show, we can put out merch and stuff. But that's for like 3 years from now.
Dude, what are you talking
when we're
about,
mega
dude?
superstars.
What are you talking about, dude? We're about to have the ass bottles, water bottles.
Oh yeah, from the water sponsorship that didn't carry out. I forgot the name, so we can't really shit talk him, Jake.
We can't. But, so Ethan, he put out a letter just like, hey, like, put our podcast out, and we get some water bottles, and of course they don't respond.
Yeah, hey, you don't gotta tell them our shortcomings. Look, all right, that's the sponsorship info that happens in the background. We will get one eventually. Don't worry.
We're gonna get one from AutoZone.
Well, we still have some good questions to answer, and we've been going for a bit, but I actually do want to get through these questions though. So I was just looking at one. I don't know why I forgot.
This guy's stupid.
Oh, okay. This comes from Unapathetic again. And I'm also going to just combine this with a question from @Luffy2nd, but he asked, do you prefer plot-driven stories or character-driven stories more? And then Luffy's question is basically the same, where he asks, what's more important, a bad story with great character or a great story with bad characters? And then he provides an example. He says great characters are more important than the story. And he gave the example of being Tenet. He thinks that it's a really cool story, but it has badly written characters, which I would agree with. Yeah, I would agree with that. But I just want to answer both the questions, like, because it's basically the same thing. If plot is better or if character is better. I don't know if you have an answer for that.
Oh, I'm drinking my water.
Okay, I thought you were just lost in thought.
No. You want to go first, or you want me to go?
Yeah, I was gonna say this is always something that I jump back and forth between, and it might sound contradictory for you guys that have seen or heard my EVA opinions. That's a character-driven show, but I think it is under the guise of being plot-driven, or it's a plot-driven show that thinks it's character-driven to me. And while the characters are good, the plot suffers because of it. So I think I'm mostly a guy that likes a good balance between both. But if I were to look at all of my favorite series, it's mostly the characters that outweigh the plot. Unicamp, there's no plot, it's all character. Hoseki no Kuni, while I think the plot is cool, the main appeal and draw is Foss's character journey, and in turn what Foss is going through kind of is the plot. Gintama, it's entirely a character-based comedy, character-based story, so I think I would have to say characters. After all, they are, the most important pieces in any story. You have to have good characters if you want to have something good. You can have a collection of decent characters and have a great plot, though that could still work. But in turn, if you want to have an amazing plot, you got to have amazing characters to back it up.
Yeah, a lot of my top 10 is driven by characters. Toradora, Gintama, Monogatari, that kind of thing. Monogatari is kind of like the very good mix of both great characters and great story.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I see it is the character driven is more of like a roommate, someone you're going to see all the time, so you like to see what they do. And the story plot is that guy that always comes into your house that you don't want to see.
That made no sense, but sure.
I tried to think of something witty and it just didn't happen. But what I mean by that is just like a plot driven is like has to be set in stone from the beginning. it can't but just be like halfway in, because then it's like halfway character, halfway plot. But then like to me, it just like it's kind of it's kind of weird whenever that happens with plot driven stories. I can't think of like some that I watched recently. It would be what Promised Neverland would be one that
Yeah.
that shit show. 8-6 right now. 8-6.
I mean, plot driven is definitely something that has a bunch of moving pieces. It could even be a bunch of different character storylines that are effective. It like Ass Class would definitely be something that's plot driven. There's a clear end goal. There's a clear starting goal. There's a clear set path that they're all going on. But there's also multiple characters that you have to care about. Monogatari, like you had mentioned, each arc has its own set story and plot that it's following, but it is entirely driven by the characters. So. And even ReZero is the perfect mesh in my opinion too. This plot is super interesting, but Subaru is primarily why I love the show. So
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I drew a blank on the question.
I mean,
character driven is the best in my opinion.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I think that's what you were just trying to say, is that character driven is the best.
Yeah.
Which that's what I would say for it. And I would agree with you like on your Tenet thing. I think Tenet is a case of focusing too much on your plot and not about the characters, because I don't give a shit about the main character at all, which was David Tennant or whatever the hell his name was. You don't really feel anything. There's the secondary characters. Spoilers for you guys for Tenet, by the way, but his partner or whatever, turns out at the end that he actually came from the future and worked for Tenet, who was the guy that set all of this shit in motion. And his final mission was to take a bullet for Tenet and die. So then you're like, oh, you're supposed to feel bad at the end and like, oh shit, he died for this guy and he was his best friend. But you don't really feel or give a shit about that, because these characters were not fleshed out at all, because the movie was too focused on its plot. And that's the case that could happen with a lot of these. I don't think the detriment of focusing on your two characters is as big as, or focusing on your characters too much is as big as focusing on your plot too much. Eva, while it focused on its characters too much and forgot about its plot, it's still a good show. Tenet focused on its plot too much, or on its plot too much and not the characters, and I don't think it's a good movie. So, yeah, character driven is much more important and better.
Brother, I'm not gonna lie, I almost fell asleep.
I know it's boring. I'm sure everybody tuned out by now if they're still listening.
No, I'm telling you, I almost just fell asleep right now.
Yeah, it's late.
So I'm gonna think. I think.
Well, hold on.
It's time.
We still got good. Hold on.
Hey, you know what? We need to stop. All right. I'm actually tired.
I know. I really wanted to answer this question though from the Dojin Shigo.
God damn it.
And they ask, with the sudden boom of the medium's popularity, how long, in your opinion, will it take for anime to become truly mainstream? The reason I wanted to answer this is because I'd say it's already mainstream.
Yeah, I like, even at work, like I can talk about it, and like there's like a couple of people that I don't even think that they would that they talk about it. It's like, it's that mainstream that's not really mainstream, but it's still like mainstream. It's like I would
still disagree and say it's truly mainstream at this point. Because like, if you would ask me 2 years ago this question, I would maybe have a different answer. But at this point in time, I think it's truly mainstream. We're getting a Made in Abyss movie. Promised Neverland is getting Netflix adaptations. They're adapting a bunch of anime series. I wear a skate brand clothing that has Dragon Ball in it, and another skate brand just picked up Hunter x Hunter. There are also a bunch of My Hero style clothing. A bunch of skate companies and a bunch of fashion companies in general are adapting anime stuff. Guess, it was Guess, which is a big brand. They did a Naruto collab. It's like, people are acknowledging that anime is this big thing. Like Jake said, you can also just talk about it freely in public and nobody's gonna care now. I walk around with Dragon Ball shit and nobody bats an eye. Like, it's the cool thing now. So I think it's truly
say it's cool.
I would definitely say people
accepted.
treat it as the cool thing.
It's accepted.
A lot of people, at least with shonen, they try to treat it as the cool thing.
Well, shonen with it's the shonen junkies, right? We hate shonen junkies.
Yeah,
branch out to other shows, dude. Anime is not just about shonen. But yeah, I don't know. I still think it's like, it just needs like one little push. I still don't think it's like.
I wouldn't say, it's I guess on the level of like Marvel and stuff here are like the big mainstream, but I would say it is damn near truly mainstream.
Yeah, like, well, I think it's just like, I think it's not quite there, but it's like there, that kind of thing. It just needs like one more step. You're in the opinion that it's already there.
I would say by at least at the very damn least 2025 it'll be, because the only leeway I would give here, or like credence, is that the anime movies still get limited runs, and as far as I guess broadcasting aside from like Crunchyroll or like Funimation, the only block I can think of that streams or plays on live TV to like the masses is Toonami, and they only get Saturdays.
Yeah.
in America at least. So it's like most people, at least other stations and streaming services, only relegate a small portion of their time to anime. But I think as time goes on, they're gonna allow them to have more freedom, I guess. But for the most part, like I said, I still think it's in the very big mainstream. Almost everybody knows or has seen an anime at this point, like any young person.
Yeah, I remember like a long time ago, like close to like 10 years ago, like if you would go on like Cartoon Network or like Boomerang, like at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., they would be playing anime. I remember. Yeah,
Toonami still around.
No, it was like, I don't think it was Toonami.
If it was on Cartoon Network, it was Toonami.
Oh. Well, anyways, yeah, there was that. I remember because I was like, I would stay up at night. I'll just be downstairs just watching TV.
Yeah, dude, Toonami's my shit. But yeah, there's still other good questions, but we'll answer them next time with Tail. Jake is falling asleep, and I agree. It is very late. It's 1 a.m. Holy shit, it's 1 a.m.
It's what? Well, to be fair, like we had issues with this. And
yeah, our episode crashed a bit, but I mean, even then, we still well past the hour mark. At least I think so.
Yeah, I don't think this episode's gonna do great.
Oh, I think it'll do great. Look, our momentum was great, and look, our banter and everything was fine.
I hate you.
Unless you guys have comments you want to leave for us, you can tell us otherwise. But I think it was a fine episode.
If you want more questions, please answer our little tweets on Twitter. Please.
Well, people are answering them. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know. We want more. We want more content. We want to help you guys understand this more.
We're greedy little whores. But I mean, we can just speed through this one though. I mean, I know Tel's not here, and it's usually meant for all three of us. But you know, what have you been watching and reading recently, aside from the seasonals? Unless it's nothing.
It's just been seasonal. I'm probably just gonna finish the rest of my watching right now. It's like Golden Boy, Ace Attorney, second season, Yuru Camp, Promised Neverland. I'm probably just gonna finish those shows before all the other shows come out. And reading wise, I mean, Rent a Girlfriend, chapter 60. That's it. I was gonna read Matuno Slave, but I had it open. I just had it open and I just didn't read it. I think I fell asleep.
I feel it. I mean, mostly all I did in this week, I just finished Dora Hedoro. I don't remember. I don't think I said I finished it last week, but you know, I finished it. Yeah, I think it was after the episode, most definitely. It was good. Very weird. I'm gonna read the manga. Looking forward to it. And the only other thing I could think of, I watched the first episode of 1 Week Friends. That's the manga I'm also reading. Watch the seasonals, of course, and other than that, I'm just gonna be reading Call of the Night, which is another shonen series. I just picked up the first volume today. I'm gonna be reading that probably tonight, actually. So nothing too crazy this week. Yeah, nothing too crazy this week. I've mostly been been playing Dead by Daylight. Hots back into that god awful game. You too, Jake.
Oh yeah, I'm about to be a rank 8 killer, I think, something like that, and I'm already a rank 8 survivor. I haven't played in a while, but they're having their 5th anniversary, so you get free stuff.
Well, who else gets? Well, it's not free stuff, but they pay for it. It's our patrons. Yeah, definitely not free. They're giving us money, but we're giving them some quality content in return. The quality part is debatable.
It's always been debatable ever since we started this pod. We don't pull out quality.
But if you head on over to patreon.com/askcast, you can be like one of our beautiful patrons here, like Outdated, Hadrian, Corbin, Fanner, M4 Blitz, and our newest patron, Flomjom. Thank you guys so much for being patrons. We hope you guys stick around. We'll be making more bonuses. We promise. We put out our 2 like we said we would last time, and also our
bonuses. Wink, wink.
Yeah, I mean, there were bonuses. Look, one of our bonuses, if you guys are also interested, it was our very first practice recording. It was always intended to be a bonus. We knew, like, back then when we made it, this would probably be, like, released as bonus content if we had ever made a Patreon, because that wasn't even, like, something we had thought of at that time. But it was always intended to be released at some point. It's on our Patreon now if you guys want to hear the progression of the show. I think it's something interesting. I actually haven't gone back and listened to it myself, but I want to see how, like, different it was. I'm sure we are a lot more nervous. I mean, it's still probably just as shitty, but I'm sure we are a lot more nervous, a lot more dead air, and things like that.
Yeah, I think, well, one, our internet connection is better, so now we know when someone actually stopped talking.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad over there, but yeah, I feel like I don't think we've improved quality-wise, but I think a lot of the dead air there's not as much anymore.
Yeah, well, you try to fill the void.
Instead of just cutting.
I thought we were about to have some dead air there. I didn't know if that was part of the joke.
No,
but yeah.
Damn it, we should have done it.
Yeah, just a reminder, we have 3 tiers on our Patreon. $2 tier, it gets you a special role on Discord, and it's just a way to help contribute to us. And our $5 and $10 tiers, special role on Discord as well, but you also get access to our bonus episodes. And whatever extra content we add later on, we ask question threads, we put out special posts for you guys, and just best ways to not best ways. Yeah, there's other ways to support us, but this is a very nice way to support us. We thank you guys so much again. We also got some donations in our Ko-fi too, so that's a good way to help us get our soundboard and stuff and help improve the podcast. So a lot has been happening. Thank you guys so much again. Can't stress it enough. Head on over to patreon.com/askcast if you want to help us out that way. If you want to help us out another way, though, and still one of the best ways to do it is to listen to us on the following platforms, which is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Google Podcasts. Sorry, I left that out. All at Anime Safe Space. We're also on Twitter at Anime Safe Space. Feel free to tweet at us, DM us, and give us suggestions, questions, if you just want to shoot the shit. And if you want to meet other Ask fans, you can head on over to the link down below. We have our Discord server. We do AMQ nights, game nights, watch-alongs, and we just shoot the shit in our servers, talk with people, and you get just meet other Ask fans. A lot of people in that server, and adding a lot of things, so it's very fun.
Yeah, I think we're around like 252 members. I'm not gonna check.
We have a lot of members in there. A lot of Ask fans.
To be fair, yeah, we have a lot of members, and we're still looking at how to like make the Discord like a bit more fun, like a bit more interactive.
Yeah, dude, there's some improved, like there's some crazy ass servers that I'm looking at, and I'm like, dude, but I feel like we're like boomers when it comes to this.
Yeah, we are boomers, but I mean, you live and you learn, right? That's all we gotta do.
Sonic Adventure reference there, dude.
Exactly, dude. That song is a banger. You cannot tell me otherwise.
Just like this podcast, am I right?
Ah.
No? All right, I'm ending it.